So in this video, I'm breaking down the psychological and emotional reasons why women often come back after you pull away. Now, if you've ever been ghosted, breadcrumbed, or put in the dreaded maybe zone, this will explain what's really going on inside her mind. So keep watching. Us here, welcome to the channel. Remember, this is the only channel on YouTube that I have. Now, funny how the moment you stop chasing her, she suddenly remembers your name. She starts texting, calling, acting like she's missed you all along. But why does this happen? Why does a woman come running back the second you give her space? Stick around, because once you understand this, things will begin to look very different. Reason 1. Distance creates curiosity. Remember this. Predictability kills curiosity. You should never keep a predictable routine of orbiting her when she's acting up. Don't hover over her every move and keep liking all her social media posts, because mystery and uncertainty can quickly keep her on her toes and make her curious about you. You see, it's that kind of uncertainty that becomes addictive over time. Maybe you haven't heard of this. There's something called the Zeigarnik effect, which basically means we remember unfinished situations more than the ones that have closure. And you, my friend, gave her no closure. You just pulled back when she started to act up. And that silence is deafening. Now she's obsessing over the what if, the why, the is he seeing or did he move on to someone else already? You see, you really don't need to block her. You don't need to post cryptic quotes. Just disappear. Let the silence do what words never could. See, curiosity is the first step to reattraction. When she doesn't know where you stand, she starts trying to figure you out again. And when a woman starts trying to figure you out, she's emotionally re-engaging. So don't make distance weakness. Used correctly, distance is actually a weapon, and curiosity is your first hit. Reason number 2. She starts questioning her decision. When a woman pulls away from you, most of the time, she doesn't expect you to let her go. She expects you to chase, to check in, to convince her that she's worth it. But the moment you don't, that's when doubt starts to creep in. At first, she thought walking away gave her power. Now it's giving her anxiety. That silence you give her is when her decision starts to feel like a mistake. Because silence isn't rejection, it's actually a mirror, right? It forces her to sit with what she lost. When you stay quiet, you're not just removing yourself from her life, you're actually removing your energy, your attention, your care, your masculine presence. And the contrast between what she had and what she's left with starts to feel like a downgrade. The truth is, if you were really the problem with the relationship, she'll feel relieved. But if she begins to feel uneasy, uncertain, maybe even regretful, it's definitely a loss that she didn't expect to feel. But this is where most men ruin it. They try to clear the air, just check in, or worse, apologize for her decision. But the moment you do that, she stops questioning herself and starts questioning why you're so available. So let her wonder. Let her sit in silence. Let her replay the moment she let go and regret every second of it. Remember, distance doesn't just create curiosity, it creates doubt. And doubt makes people rethink even the most confident decisions. You want her to come back? Make her feel like she made the wrong call. Reason number 3. You regained your power without saying a word. Let's talk about power dynamics. Most guys don't even realize they're giving away their power when they're constantly available, always texting, always asking, did I do something wrong? Are you okay? Can we talk? To be blunt, that kind of energy doesn't attract her. It repels her. But when you give her distance, when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop chasing her for validation or closure, right? That is when everything changes. That's when your power comes back. Not because you yelled, not because you put her in her place, but because you removed your energy without warning and without a single damn apology. See, power is influence without effort. When you pull away and stay silent, you're not being passive, you're being powerful. You're showing her that your worth isn't tied to her response, that you're a man who doesn't need her permission to walk away. Listen, if she can feel your absence without you saying a word, you've already won. This is why distance works, not because you're punishing her or playing games, but because you're reminding her who the hell you are. You're a man who doesn't beg, a man who doesn't explain his value, a man who can walk away with his dignity fully intact. That energy is rare, and women don't forget it. Because when you stop fighting for attention, you will regain all your power, and that power is what will pull her back in. Reason number 4. She didn't think you would actually walk away. When she pulled back, gave you attitude, stopped replying, or got cold, she didn't think you'd disappear. She thought you'd stick around. She thought you'd keep proving yourself. She thought you'd chase, because That's what most guys do. And when you didn't, she felt it. A lot of women test men. They push buttons, pull away emotionally, ignore texts, flirt with other guys in front of you, all just to see, will he choose me when I make it hard? But when she realizes you stopped playing, you stopped auditioning, you stopped showing up to prove your worth, now she's off script. You've thrown her off because you weren't supposed to walk away. Remember, you were supposed to hang on, wait, try harder, but instead you chose silence. And that silence is what starts her spiral. I mean, she thought she had you, right? She had you on a hook. Maybe she even told her friends, oh, he's sweet, he's going nowhere. Fast forward 2 weeks later, she's watching your stories from a burner account. She's lurking in the shadows because her confidence in walking away just collapsed. It's not that she didn't like you, it's that she didn't expect you to like yourself enough to leave. And when you did, she realized that she misread the entire situation. And now, the power dynamic has flipped. This is key. When a woman pulls away, she's expecting resistance. The one thing she doesn't expect is indifference. And when you show her that your world doesn't crumble without her, she'll start to question her place in yours. And that's when she will try to circle back. And not because she suddenly woke up, but because you did. Right? So remember this. The moment you stopped chasing, the moment you walked with your silence, was the moment she realized that she underestimated the man that you are. Reason number 5. Emotional contrast kicks in. When you give her distance, you don't just disappear physically, you see. What you do is you remove your emotional impact, and that creates something really powerful. Contrast, the kind that quietly whispers in her ear at 1 a.m. when she's scrolling through her DMs full of guys who just don't hit the same way, right? I'll break this down. At first, she thinks walking away is freedom, more attention, more options, less pressure. I mean, she's thinking, now I can focus on me, explore, do what I want, right? Here's what actually happens. She starts comparing. I mean, the new guy is nice, but he doesn't challenge her, right? The attention feels good, but it's shallow. The conversations are consistent but forgettable. And suddenly, you, the one she left, will start to feel like the best energy she didn't know how to handle. Now, this happens because emotions aren't logical. They're experiential. And once a woman has felt safe, seen, and sparked in your presence, even if she couldn't admit it at the time, every guy after you is held up against that feeling. You're the standard. Let's face it, when you were present, you had impact. Now that you're gone, your absence is deafening. The hard truth is your value isn't just in what you said or did, it's in how she felt around you. And when you remove that feeling, that void becomes a message. That's why she'll text you out of nowhere and say, hey, thinking about you, or remember that time that we blah, blah, blah. Trust me when I say she's not reminiscing. She's chasing a feeling that she can't seem to recreate with anyone. So understand this. Distance doesn't just make the heart grow fonder, it makes the memory sharper. And the contrast between what she had and what she's settling for now is the real reason why she comes back. Reason number 6, you became the challenge again. All right, let's keep it 100. Women don't chase what's easy. I mean, they're just like men, right? They might entertain it, they might keep it around, but they do not crave what comes without a challenge. And the moment you gave her distance, the moment you stopped checking in, stopped validating her, stopped chasing, you became the challenge again. Think about how it started. In the beginning, she was into you. You had a life, a purpose, a vibe. You were centered in your masculine frame, but over time, maybe you got comfortable. Started giving too much, texting too much, showing too much availability. And slowly, whether you realized it or not, you became predictable. The more predictable you became, the less attraction grew. Here's what's wild. The moment you disappear from her radar, no calls, no just checking in messages, no responses to her breadcrumbs, she felt it. She suddenly noticed that you weren't there. And that shift from you being certain to being unavailable flips the entire power dynamic. By giving her distance, you remind her of who you were before you gave her all that access. The man she was intrigued by, the man who didn't need her validation, the man who could walk away with his head held high. That guy is a challenge she's still craving. So if you want to flip the script, stop trying to be the solution to her confusion. Become the question she can't stop thinking about. That's what happens when you reclaim the challenge. Reason 7, you took back your masculine frame. Let's get into the truth most guys don't want to hear. When you stop chasing, you're not just pulling away from her, you're stepping back into yourself, into your masculine frame. So, someone will ask, what is your masculine frame? It's your emotional center. It's the version of you that's calm under pressure, purpose-driven, clear, unshakable. When you're in that frame, you don't react to her distance. You respond with composure. You don't try to fix her feelings. You honor your boundaries. When a woman senses that you're not afraid to lose her, that's when she feels like she's losing something real. You see, but a lot of guys would do this wrong. They would lose their frame the moment she starts acting distant. They go from being grounded and self-assured to anxious, emotional, approval-seeking. And suddenly, she becomes the prize, and guess what? He's auditioning for her attention. The loudest message you can send is silence paired with purpose. You're not just avoiding her, you're focused. You're working out again. Your money's up. You're unavailable. Not as a game, but because you've got things to do. And when she sees that, she feels that shift in your posture, your energy, your communication, or lack thereof. Right? She realizes, oh, man, I lost a man, not a boy. Because men in their frame don't come around every day. Most fold under pressure. Most break when a woman texts them. But you stayed still. You stayed grounded. You walked. And that masculine calm, the emotional discipline, that's what haunts her after you're gone. Not the memories, not the texts, but the way you didn't flinch. So don't underestimate the power of recentering, right? When you stopped reacting and started responding from strength, you became the man she wished she never doubted. And that's why she comes back. I hope you got value from this video. If you did, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because